Hello, hockey fans. What a Saturday, huh? So, the last of the game threes took place. It started with Florida and Washington. I think Florida screwed. Oh boy. Washington beat them like they stole something. I mean, it was absolutely hideous how that happened. I mean, and Florida scored first, and then they decided, well, that's enough. As Washington scored the next six. You know, something told me. Something told me this was going to happen because that's what happens. It's one. It was 1-1 after two, and it goes to D.C. and Washington has momentum, and they really cash in on it. They stole home ice advantage right from the start when they took game one. Now they have a two games to one lead, and they're still in D.C. I'm just gonna be dead serious, and I know it's 2-1, and Florida could even the series on Monday. But if Florida loses this series, I don't know what else they can do. I mean, what can they do? They've done everything. They've done everything. I mean, look at how their season's going. Look how the regular season went. 122 points. And they won, was it nearly 60? They won nearly 60 games. They won, what, 58 games? Yeah, 58 wins, 122 points, 42 in regulation. What more do they need to do? This great season, and we still may see them lose in round one. Like I said, what else could they do? They went all in on trading for Giroux, because they believe the time for not just getting over the playoff series hump, but for winning the whole thing was now. And now they find themselves in a hole that they may not be able to get out of. They may be going back to Sunrise down 3-1. Oh boy. I know this much, and this just now hit me. There are probably gonna be some Avs fans saying, Claude, you made a mistake. As Colorado took down Nashville. Now, it was rocky because at the end of the first period, we did lose Kemper. The stick to right through the mask and near the eye. The story I read is he could be good for game 4, but that's 2 days from now. We'll see what develops. But we, as our slogan goes, we found a way, and boy did we. 7-3, 4 for 5 on the power play. I think McKinnon's goal was the only point he had. Oh, Nashville. Here's the funny part about this. If Nashville hadn't blown that 4-0 lead to Arizona, this series wouldn't have happened. They would be facing Calgary. Calgary can't seem to score goals lately. Calgary has a grand total. Now Calgary, of course, that's how the night ended. Calgary lost, 4-2. And they're down 2-1. Calgary scored 3 goals. They've scored 3 goals in this entire series. We scored more than that in the first period in game 1. If Nashville hadn't bought it, because I remember what was on the line. Dallas had won their game. All Nashville needed to do was get 1 point. They would tie them, pass them because of tiebreakers, and they'd be off to Canada, Western Canada, not the Rockies. Instead, they were up 4-0. I thought, well, guess we're facing Dallas. Nah. 5 unanswered goals by Arizona. They lose a regulation, and Nashville has to deal with the Colorado juggernaut. And it's bad. It's bad. Here's how bad it is for Nashville. They have 6 goals total. Duchesne has half of them. Cale Makar had more points today than Roman Josi, his number 1 competition for the Norris, has had all series. He only has the goal he scored today. That was only his 2nd point. Makar had 3 assists today. And poor Forsberg doesn't have a point at all. and he's pissed. And he took it out the wrong way and got a penalty for it. And that's another difference between killing penalties. But so it's a mess all around for Nashville. But the Avs have capitalized. Another game where we scored 7 and we're up 3-0. And I said Dallas took game 3 against Calgary. Goals were actually scored, 6 of them, which was double the total after 2 games. And in between those games, Pittsburgh had a hell of an outing against the Rangers. So it was so good that they actually knocked Igor Shesterkin out. These Vezina-esque goalies are getting killed. They are, because they didn't play tonight, but Vasilevsky's been looking quite human in his series against Toronto. He has. I don't know if it's like cup fatigues finally hit him. But he has looked mighty human. He hasn't looked like the normal Vasilevsky that nobody scores on. And Shesterkin, who's supposed to be up for the Vezina this year, he got blasted in the first period. 4 goals and 15 shots in period 1. Georgiev had to enter, and he was doing well at first. He kept the Rangers in, and New York came back and tied it, but Pittsburgh woke up and took it. So, another wild day of hockey, and game 3's over. And after 3 games, Washington, Pittsburgh, Toronto, Carolina, Minnesota, Dallas, and Edmonton are all 2-1. Colorado, 3-0. The pivotal game 4s start tomorrow, and yes, they are pivotal because of all the 2-1s. They can either become 3-1s or 2-2s. When a series is 2-2 after the minimum 4 games of the best of 7, that's when things get interesting, and that's when, as Hall of Famer Jim Ross often says, that's when business picks up. So, again, it's back to the same schedule that started the playoffs. The same games that took place on yesterday. It starts early, Game 4 in Boston between the Hurricanes and Bruins. That's at 12:30 Eastern, but it's at 9:30 in the morning Pacific. So some Sunday morning hockey on this Mother's Day. And then that's on ESPN. The other games on TBS. TNT had the triple header today. It's TBS's turn tomorrow. Game 4, Wild and Blues in St. Louis, and the Blues need to win. They need to win because if they lose, their home ice is gone, and they could be screwed heading back to St. Paul. Game 4, Toronto and Tampa Bay. Toronto has a 2-1 series lead. If they win this game, we could see them. We could see something historic. We could see them actually finish it off at home, get their first series win since 2004. And Game 4 in LA between Edmonton and the Canes. Canes need to win this, or else they can forget it. And Monday is the other Game 4s. 2 on TBS, 2 on ESPN. Florida, Washington, and DC. Rangers in Pittsburgh. Rangers Pittsburgh in the Steel City. Game 4, Colorado and Nashville. The first elimination game of this year's playoffs. We can finish it off. And then it's Calgary and Dallas. Game 4 in Dallas. Those are Game 4s that take place tomorrow and Monday, and we'll see how those 8 games turn out. We could see an elimination. We could see teams go up 3-1. We could see some 2-2 series. Either way, any way it goes, it's going to be very interesting. So that's my recap of tonight's action. If you like this video, click the like button, click subscribe if you want more, and I'll be back tomorrow to recap tomorrow's action. So stay tuned.